what we're going to do now is take a step back and up and look at USAID's resilience policy. So you will see, those of you who were here in December have already seen this presentation. We've modified it a little, but what we really want to underscore and have you understand based on this is how aid as an agency is thinking about resilience and operationalizing this policy. And the RAN is a part of our strategy for doing that. Okay, so this why now? Why this policy? Aid took stock, policy task team took stock, and some of what we found is striking. In the last decade, $90 billion in humanitarian assistance was spent in 9 countries. Stop and think about that for a minute, right? And it's been the same 9 countries. Recurrent crises are expected and continue to potentially worsen. Drought in Ethiopia does not surprise us. There's an international agreement on the need to better withstand shocks to maintain development gains. So it makes a lot of sense to invest in prevention, right? So that instead of these cycles repeating themselves, we break the cycles and we build resilience. And aid has thought through for itself what that means. So there are 3 key elements to doing this. One is supporting international partnerships, and Greg's going to talk more specifically about the role of these partnerships, our relationship with these partners. But what we really want to underscore here is these 2 things. So our areas of focus, you're going to be defining your areas of focus, and we talked about how they can be complementary, they can deepen, they can expand on what aid is doing. But aid has decided to focus on the Sahel and the Horn of Africa. Whether or not William decides Ethiopia is part of the Horn is going to be key. But can you do that? So they're focusing on a global alliance in the Sahel and another one for resilience. Well, is the Global Alliance also the name of what we're doing in the Horn?
The Global Alliance is the Horn Initiative. The Alliance Globale is the Sahel Initiative. They are linked, but they're not exactly under one umbrella yet.
Hence my confusion. It's a good thing we have Francophone and Anglophone countries here. So in addition to that, so those are regional strategies that are being developed and in the final phases of vetting. And then we have specific country-led strategies that are also being developed now, and that we've been talking to Greg and the task team about how we can start to help and implement with the development and implementation of those strategies, and he'll talk more about that. We're instituting operational change through these joint planning cells, and then us, the Resilient Africa Network. So these are the 3 main components of USAID's efforts to operationalize its policy. So here's how we define resilience. So I mean, the key things here that we have in common with the RAND's working definition of resilience, which may or may not be refined this week, is a focus on individuals, people, households, communities, countries, and systems to adapt and recover from shocks and stresses in a manner that, and I think for me this is the key difference with the way the RAND is thinking about it, that reduces chronic vulnerability and facilitates inclusive growth. We'll be looking at our definition later, but as we talked about this morning, adaptive capacity and learning from how you respond to shocks and stresses is a central element of the RAND's definition. Are there any questions or comments so far? Okay. So these are the changes that aid seeks through its policy. Again, you see a lot of commonality. I think that the work that the RAN and the institutions represented here have been doing, and the work that aid has been doing, has been mutually influential at different levels at different times. But increased adaptive capacity, improved risk management, and improved social and economic conditions of vulnerable populations. then you see, you know, we were talking about the kind of results and impact that you'll be defining in the course of the workshop. And you see here in the Horn of Africa, for example, we aim to directly benefit 10 million people and reduce the region's emergency caseload by 1 million people in 5 years. So I wanted to underscore this. So this is AID's one and only metric at the moment. We're developing more metrics. That's a lot of the work that the joint planning cells are doing, that the country strategies are doing. There's been an expressed interest in the expertise that's gathered here in the RAND as one of its objectives, helping AID and the global community think through metrics and performance measures. But this is the one that AID has developed as a result of a very intensive process. And one thing you can see is we're really underscoring, and I think this is good because it complements and isn't redundant with the RAND of reducing our humanitarian caseload. Please.
Is this on? Yeah. Just another comment on that. That is one of the top line measures. We are, for the new investments in the Horn and the Sahel, not having that be a standalone because that measure is problematic for a number of reasons. Alongside it, we'll also be looking at depth of poverty. We'll also be looking at hunger as measured by the household hunger scale, a measure of sort of self-assessed food deprivation developed by FANTA. And then the last one is global acute malnutrition as a distinct nutritional feature of the dry lands in which we're investing. So there's a lot of reasons it's problematic. One of the things is caseloads change from year to year in response to severity of drought. So that indicator always includes the asterisk that says normalized by severity of drought with reference year 2011. But the other real problematic thing with this measure is that the way in which humanitarian caseloads are determined is not entirely rational or consistent through time or space. So it is an important measure in the sense that it articulates the economic rationale for making these investments, but we don't have it as a
See, we critique ourselves, so thanks for that. And I think that really highlights also what we were talking about this morning. You want the quantitative, you want the qualitative.